Hi, folks. Welcome to our presentation hosted by AlmonTravel, CARP, and tonight Regent 7 Seas Cruise Line. A little bit about us and AlmonTravel. We've been in business for almost 20 years. We have some particular specialties, and they are river cruises. We've done 10 itineraries around the world, including 3 in Asia. In Vietnam, 2 itineraries, the Mekong with Cambodia, that's the temples of Angkor Wat, as well as the Red River in the north. Done cruise tours on the Yangtze in China, the Nile in Egypt, as well as the Rhine and the Danube in Europe, and the Rhone in southern France. We've also done the Po River in Italy and Portugal's Douro River in Europe, and a very interesting river cruise on the Mississippi on an old-fashioned paddle wheeler. We've also focused on destination weddings. We've done 130 destination weddings across Canada down in the Caribbean area. And as a result of that, obviously, very comfortable with putting groups together. And if we were looking at this age demographic, we'd be talking about anniversary, retirement, special occasions, and that sort of thing. We're very comfortable helping you, your family, and friends to go down for those kinds of special occasions. As a result of our destination weddings experience and all of the research that we do on resorts when we go down south, we're also well-versed in Caribbean area vacations, either adult only or family vacations. Extended Florida family trips, we focus on theme park vacations like Universal Studios, Disney, SeaWorld, and Busch Gardens, and we've been to all of those big parks several times. Ocean cruises, the most popular itineraries, Hawaii, the Mediterranean, the 3 Caribbean itineraries, the UK, New Zealand and Australia, and also on most people's bucket list, a cruise in Alaska. And folks, if that's on your bucket list, you might want to move that up near the top because global warming is really creating havoc with the glaciers melting. We also do coach tours, from local tours like a tour of Newfoundland and Labrador to coach tours around the world. We have relationships with a variety of touring companies to find the best option for you. Travel conditions. Well, more and more people are traveling today, and by and large are not experiencing significant travel problems. But there's no question that COVID is still having an impact, with the occasional flight being canceled and lineups at certain times in major entry port airports still a concern. Plan lots of connection time. One very good sign that travel is starting to return to normal is the fact that more and more travel insurance companies are offering during trip COVID coverage. You cannot cancel due to COVID, but if you are appropriately vaccinated and contract the disease and need to quarantine at destination, many of your costs to do so will be covered. This quarantine insurance is very good value and can be added to any policy you may have now as a standalone policy. The other policy to look for, offered by only a few insurance companies, is cancel for any reason insurance, nicknamed CFAR. Make sure you consult with your travel agent to fully understand how this insurance works. Want to also talk a little bit about the connection that AlmonTravel has with CARP. A very good friend of ours, who is Bill Van Gorder, who is the COO and Chief Policy Officer for CARP National, as well as the founding chair for CARP Nova Scotia, in addition to being the senior spokesperson for CARP in the Maritimes, is my connection. I was on a charitable foundation that was established by Bill and a good friend of his, which was called 100 Men Who Give a Damn. And we raised over $400,000 for worthy charitable institutions in the Halifax metro area. As a member of the board, I got to know Bill quite well. He booked a river cruise in Europe and a train trip across Canada, as well as a Rocky Mountaineer through the Rocky Mountains. And he was pleased with my service, to the point where he offered us the opportunity to become the official travel agents for CARP Nova Scotia. Very happy, of course, to be able to accept that. I'd like to now introduce Amelie Dubois, who's the Business Development Manager for Canada for Regent 7 Seas Cruise Line, who will be introducing us to this top-of-the-line luxury cruise company. She'll be focusing on, in addition to the many destinations they cruise to two particular itineraries, a cross-Atlantic Barcelona to Miami itinerary and a Buenos Aires to Rio itinerary. So Amelie, please take over.
Good morning, everyone. What an introduction, Danny. Thank you so much. It's so great to be partnering with very professional travel agent like you. I think that everybody understands, more than ever, how important it is to work with a travel agent. So no matter where you are in the world, you can have their service. They are professional. They know what they are talking about. They've done many trainings, and you are in great hands with travel agent. They have very special partnership with us, and we're going to see that at the end of this presentation. But yes, after ocean cruising and river cruising, I'm very honored to be here and talk about Regent 7 Seas. I think it's a good step after ocean and river. So I don't know if many of you know Regent 7 Seas, because we are a very small cruise line and we don't really do a lot of advertisement. So we, when I say we are a small cruise line, we have only 5 ships. So from the Navigator with 480 guests to the Splendor with 732 guests now, we are actually building a new ship called the 7 Seas Grandeur coming in November 2023. So we are expanding, but very small fleets and very small ship, as you can see right here. So of course, I'm next to the biggest ship of the world, but I just wanted for you to see a perspective of the size of Regent 7 Seas. Now, it's good to have a small size ship, but what about if you still have 3,000 people on board? So I wanted to show you those numbers because Regent, you see the size is an average of 55,000 tons against 126,000 tons for a premium ocean cruise ship. But we only have 750 guests on board with Regent against 3,000. So if I take the size of the ship and I divide by the number of guests on board, I will have the size per person. So we are almost at 74 with Regent against 41 on an ocean cruise ship. And I'm showing that to you because I think that nowadays it's very important to understand the space at sea, the space that you have on board to enjoy your vacation, to understand that you are not in a crowded environment. So the experience will be very different on board Regent. You don't need to wake up very early in the morning to put a towel on your sun chair by the pool. There is a sun chair for everybody. You don't need to fight for a table at the buffet because there is a table for everybody. So that's a different experience. And I think that that's why Regent is becoming more and more popular, because nowadays people want to be in a smaller and more spacious environment more than ever. So who is Regent 7 Seas and what do we offer? What's the experience? So of course, our tagline is an unrivaled experience, and we try, for luxury cruise line to give you the best of the best. So you can just, I just want to say, enjoy your time with no restriction. I think we have 2 years of restriction. So we are ready to just enjoy our time without any limitation. You go and you just enjoy. You don't need to ask what's included and what's not, because you're going to see with Regent 7 Seas, everything is included for you to enjoy your time, and time is precious. So how do we provide you with such an unrivaled experience? The first thing is the immersive exploration. Regent 7 Seas, even though we have only 5 small ships, we still go to more than 450 destinations in the world. And we do include your excursions. And I think we are the only one providing that. It's not just a city tour. If you look, for example, in Asia, 750 different excursions in 60 port of call. If you look at the Med, 2,100 excursions within 160 116 port of call. So you do have a great selection of excursion when you go on board Regent, and they are all included. So if I look, for example, in Alaska, because Danny, you just talked about that. If you have that in your bucket list, you need to know that when you go to Alaska, if you really want to immerse yourself with the destination, when you get at the pier, there is not much to do in Alaska. You really need to take an excursion and go deeper and see what the destination has to offer. I took just, an example, and that's just funny that we both had Alaska planned in our presentation. But look at that. You can do a nature walk, forest walk, kayaking, biking, rainforest nature hike, ocean raft adventure, hot Italian glass, taste of Sitka if you want to eat some Alaskan king crab, best of Sitka if you want to have a good maybe city tour and some food testing as well. So as you can see, it's not just one city tour, it's a true immersion. And depending on, what you like, if you are more adventurous or if you are more foodie, we have different tours for you. And during COVID, we also worked very hard and we developed a new concept where, depending on the destination, we're going to try to include tours that show you how those countries protect the environment. So for example, here in France, you can go see an oyster farm that works with solar panels. So this is new as well. And I just wanted to show that to you because some people think, for example, in the Caribbean, we don't need an excursion. Well, I saw this on Facebook and I wanted to share with you because this client, I found that super interesting. He said, having shore excursion included often means doing something that you might not otherwise do. And I found that some of the most enjoyable travel experiences happen when you move out of your comfort zone. One of the most anticipated tours for this trip was in Cozumel, piloting our own mini speedboat. It was as exhilarating as we had imagined it would be. So I just wanted to show you the experience from the perspective of a client and show you that no matter where you are in the world, if it is in Alaska, in the Caribbean, or any exotic setting, you are traveling because you really want to discover those destinations, to immerse yourself with the culture, meet new people, and do different things, do things that, as he mentioned, are very exhilarating. So when you come back fresh with new experiences. So that's, I think it's a very important point to understand with Regent, because you don't really have many cruise line offering that. And it's important to understand the value of the product that we are offering you. The culinary program is also a pillar with Regent. And to me, I'm a foodie. The cuisine is extremely important to me. But it's not just about the food to me, it's about the entire experience. So it's about the restaurant, the waiter, the service, the beautiful decoration. So for example, here in Compass Rose, this is our dining room. You can see beautiful sculpture on the ceiling. We have Versace plates. Again, it's all inclusive. And even if you are the dining room, it's still a la carte. Because of course, on a small ship, we can customize everything. The most important thing to understand is that it is open seating, so you can actually go for dinner whenever you want, and it is casual dining, so you don't need to have a tuxedo every night. We understand that you have a deep immersion every day with all those excursions that we give you. So when you come back at night, you may be, tired and you don't want to wear a suit. You can, but if you don't want, you don't have to. We have specialty dining as well. We have Chartreuse, which is a French specialty dining, Pacific Rim for Asian fusion restaurant, and Prime 7 for a steakhouse. And I'm going to show you a couple of pictures just so you can see the kind of food that we serve on board. But we have a vegan menu, of course, if needed. This is my best at Pacific Rim, which is a duck confit spring roll. We do have lobster, Alaskan king crab at prime 7, cowboy steak, you name it, nice meat at prime 7. And again, I wanted to show you here a picture from a client on Facebook, and I didn't leave their name. But as you can see, if you want to order room service, it is included as well with Regent. It's 24 hours a day, so you can order at any time. And as you can see, it is balcony only with Regent. So every suite has a balcony, and we come with a big setup. You have a big table, a white tablecloth, silverware. So imagine the immersion start already from your balcony. If you are, let's say, in Santorini and your breakfast comes to your room and you already see the caldera with all those donkeys going up and down, there we go. The immersion is starting right away from the comfort of your balcony. So again, I put different things here. Those are pictures from clients. So it's not marketing picture. You can see the beautiful setup that we have. This is my best at Chartreuse. This is a beef tartare, but the sauce is around so you can mix it yourself, and it's topped with caviar. So that's actually my favorite one. So another very important service, important pillar, sorry, it's the service. The service is more important than ever, and with Regent, we have a ratio of 1 crew member for 1.5 guests, which means that from the moment you step on board the ship to the moment you're gonna disembark, you can expect, I don't want to say white glove service because our service is very intuitive, but you can expect very good service. And again, to show you an example, this client said, I never cease to be amazed with Regent's level of service. I asked if there was a larger robe available. I was told that no, all the robes were size large. 2 days later, I received a call from our cabin steward asking how many XL robe would I like. Later that day, 2 larger robes were provided. The onboard tailor actually inserted panel to create more room over the top. So that's the kind of service you're gonna have with Regent. And I think that with everything that is happening in the world, it's extremely important to have a good service, know that you're gonna be in great hands with your travel professional. Like Danny explained, it's so important to take insurance, but you know that we will be there for you wherever you're gonna be sailing to. The suite, that's important. The suites are very important because it's your home away from home. And we don't have inside cabin. We don't have outside ocean view cabins. We have a couple of ocean view suite on the Navigator, but other than that, 100% of the rest of the fleet is 100% balcony suite. We start with a minimum of 305 square feet, so 30 square meters. And as you can see, the bathroom are pretty big. You can choose a shower, the tub, with very good bath amenities. The next step would be the superior suite, which is the same suite than the concierge. But the concierge has different amenities. Concierge, we give you 1 pre-night hotel. You have priority to choose your excursion, priority to choose your specialty dining. But as you can see, we are starting with 45 square meters, so 454 square feet. The bed is facing the ocean. You have a walk-in closet right here behind the bed, and you have a beautiful bathroom with 2 sinks, a shower, and a tub. Of course, we have so many different suites with so many different amenities. It depends on what you need for your vacation. This would be the biggest address at sea. It's 4,400 square feet, so 440 meters. That is the only 2-bedroom suite that we have on board. As you can see right here, the bathroom, it's pretty unique. We have a lounge chair in the bathroom, and we do include your spa. We come to your room for this. You have a sauna as well, shower, bathtub, and you have your own drivers. So from a 300 square feet to a 4,400 square feet, so many different amenities depending on your needs. And the beauty of Regent, and I think that's the most important thing to understand, is that every luxury is included with Regent. So we do include business class air on intercontinental flights. So if you had to do, for example, Montreal to Vancouver and Vancouver to Hawaii, only the Vancouver to Hawaii will be business class, all right? We do offer the transfers as well when you get to the airport to bring you to the ship. We do offer the excursions, as I mentioned before, beverages. So it's not a beverage package. We do include all your beverages with Regent 7 Seas. So that's funny because when you ask a glass of champagne, most of the time they come with the bottle and say, just enjoy. The mini bar is included as well. The 24-hour room service is included. Prepaid gratuities are included. Specialty dining are included as well. The Wi-Fi, the laundry is included. So everything is included. On exotic sailing, we also include the 2 or 3 night land program before the cruise or after, depending on what you want. And if you book a concierge or higher, you also have a pre-night hotel included. So of course, you know, you need to look at the value of the package and see what's included. And I like what Regent did because we are really comparing, for example, here it's an Asian cruise on the Explorer on a 14 night, and we are comparing on a 13 nights on a premium cruise ship on a suite balcony that is 230 square feet instead of 300 square feet. So of course you can sell for 2,300, but you know that you have all those different activities that you need to add. And right, Danny, sometime it can end up, you know, when you receive the bill on the last day of your cruise, it's not always the best experience that you have. So with Regent, there is no bill at the end of the cruise because we do include everything. So think about that. Think about, yes, we may start at 15,000, but when you start adding the business class air, the transfers, the excursion, Wi-Fi, gratuities, drinks, you can see that at the end of the day, for a 13 night comparing to a 15 night, I just changed and compare per day since it's not the same length of cruise. So you're looking at $1,074 per day for a premium cruise line when you include everything. And you are looking at $1,114 with a luxury cruise line like Regent. So it's only $40 more per day per person, but you go and you just enjoy with no hassle, no limitation. You just enjoy your time. Your time is precious. So here you don't need to ask, is this beverage included? Yes, no, all champagne is not included. It's only Prosecco, you know, things like that. Excursion, you just go and enjoy. So I think that's extremely important to understand the value of Regent. All right, so I used to work for a premium cruise line before, and I always, you know, wonder what happened on those small cruise ships. You can have a lot of activities on those big premium cruise line, but is there something happening on those small cruise ships? So here it's the Splendor. We also have an outdoor patio where you can enjoy breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The only thing is that it's buffet all day long, except at night. The buffet changed to Sette Mari, which is an Italian restaurant where we serve you. It's a la carte, all right? We do have a buffet by the pool, which is a grill with so many different fresh options, as you can see. If you don't like it, you can also be your own chef and do a cooking class with Regent. That has an additional cost. It depends on the class that you want to do. Usually, we combine those classes with a destination experience. So we give you a budget and we ask you to go shop for the ingredients at the market. You come back and then we cook something local. So let's say if you go to Italy, you may do a seafood lasagna, do a tiramisu and drink some Chianti. All right. We do have a coffee connection if you want specialty coffee. Actually, if you even want some Baileys or whatever liquor you want in your coffee, it is included. As I mentioned before, we do have an outdoor area if you want to, if you like to be outside and have the fresh air. We do have a lot of outdoor activities as well. We do have several lounge if you want to have a drink before dinner. With this observation lounge doing almost a 360. And then we do have a cigar lounge on board as well for clients who enjoy smoking cigars. We do have entertainment, which for a small cruise ship, it's a very good point to know. It's not Cirque du Soleil, but as you can see, it's a beautiful decor. And we do have a good production, as you can see right here, with beautiful costume. We have a spa on board if you want to be pampered. We do have a spa, and this is additional. We also have an infinite pool on Splendor and Explorer on the back of the ship. We do have a casino for those who want to take a chance at the roulette. And we do have lectures on board. And our client really love those lectures. They are destination expert who comes on board and they just explain more about the local culture of the different ports that you will be visiting. It can be that, but it can be, I remember one of my agents talking about her client's experience on board Mariner in Alaska. And we had an FBI agent that came and explained, all his professional life and was super interesting. Sometimes they eat with you. If you really like, you can go for a coffee with them. They're going to invite you for dinner. It's very family style with Regent 7 Seas, that's for sure. And we do have an outdoor deck with mini golf, shuffleboard, paddle, a pickleball as well. So we do have those activities on this small ship. And of course, the pool area with the 2 bathtubs. So as explained before, there is space for everybody. It's not those plastic chairs. You have nice mattress with a nice cover as well. So I think everybody just wish to be there right now, including me. So again, from the perspective of a client, they did that tapas cooking class with Chef Stefano when they were in Malaga in Spain, and they are saying it was a ball. We do have different band on board. We have different celebration. We did Canada Day on board, but I don't have picture. And we also do dance under the stars as well. And something that only Regent does, we do a neighborhood block party where the stateroom attendant, the captains, they're gonna come, they're gonna introduce themselves. You can see the neighbor. So this is coming back next month. We stopped with COVID, but it's coming November 2022. And of course, now the dilemma is that where are you going to go? What is in your bucket list? And we do, the thing with Regent is that we don't do any back-to-back except for Alaska. So we have all those options all over the world. So what we did is that we decided to offer huge itinerary like this one, which is a Lisbon round trip for 79 nights. But you can just select a segment if you want to do more the French portion, for example. Here you have a double overnight in Bordeaux. You have La Rochelle. You have an overnight in Concarneau. If you want to go see Mont Saint-Michel, if you want to go see Honfleur, this is a beautiful area. Bruges, Antwerp, Amsterdam. So you can just choose a segment within those big itineraries. Same thing here, we go from Auckland to Athens and going to Bali, Thailand, Malaysia, and doing the Suez Canal right here, going to Jerusalem and back to Athens. We have also this one, instead of leaving Sydney to go west, we're gonna go north and go up to Tokyo. If you want to do a 14-night Japanese immersion, you can do that as well. And here we're gonna be visiting a lot of our friends in Halifax. This is a New York to Barcelona, doing Iceland, Greenland, the Faroe Island, the British Isles, so many different options. But today we decided, to talk about different, an itinerary that might be something that we want to consider. This is the Splendor, which is the new ship that I just mentioned before. It's a 14-night leaving from Barcelona to Miami on November 2023, starting at 10,899 Canadian. Everything included. Again, you don't have to spend anything after that. And then this one, I really like it. With Danny, we talked long about this, and this is a Buenos Aires to Rio on the Voyager. So you have March 5th, 2023 for anyone who wants to go soon, but we do have it in 2024, 2025. What I like the most is that this is a real true immersion with an overnight in Rio. You do have a free land package in Montevideo or in Rio. You choose the one you want. But I was looking into that. You can go see the Iguazu Falls that, you just take a small airplane, you get to the falls, you take a Zodiac, you get there, then you're gonna take, you're gonna look at the Iguazu Fall from the bottom, and then you're gonna take that kind of elevator to see it from the top as well. So that's a true experience that is included for you as well. Or if you want to go to Rio and do the Brazilian immersion, you can do that as well. Actually, I was looking into that. And when you go there, you even go to a samba school where you see them, how do they dance the samba. You have a dance class included as well. They show you the costume and everything. So again, it includes everything for you. It's a turnkey package where you don't need to plan for anything. We've done it for you. If you don't want the flight, you don't have to take the flight. That's something that we should also mention, is that our flights are included from Montreal, Toronto, or Vancouver. So you will have to fly one day before to Montreal. And I mean, you have the best of the best with Danny. He knows what he's talking about. He knows, how to book all those deep immersion and make sure you get on time and safely to the destination. And, when you work with so good travel professional, you build a relationship, you build a partnership. So Danny, I wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you are doing on behalf of Regent 7 Seas, everything that the amazing service that you are giving to our mutual guest, right? And just, to end up with that, we have many promotion. It depends when you're going to book. We even have a Canadian at par promotion that is always available if you want to book at par, which means that whatever price we have in US, we give it to you in Canadian. But on top of that, Danny has special partnership with us with extra shipboard credit on almost every sailing, and it's between $300 and $1,000 USD for you to enjoy on board. If you want to be pampered and go to the spa, if you want to do a cooking class, or if you just want to take a very high-end excursion and go on a helicopter somewhere for a deeper immersion. So Danny, thank you for having me. I mean, I'm sorry, we wanted to do a discussion and I was so, enthusiastic that I keep talking, but I'm here for you.
Your enthusiasm is catching, Amelie. So very, very happy to listen to everything you say. And I want to thank you very much for a wonderful presentation on Regent 7 Seas Cruise Line. It's a cruise company for discerning travelers, I think. I have just a couple of comments and questions that I made note of during your presentation. So I'd like to direct those to you and get response. Yeah, the fact that you have 5 ships and small ship experience. A lot of the time, then when you were talking about things that were happening on board the ship, beds facing the windows, you know, well, just a lot of things, inclusions. I compare that to river cruising, you know, and I'm thinking about my clients who particularly like river cruises as finding this method of ocean cruising to be quite similar, perhaps definitely taken up a notch, but you know, not a difficult transition to make over from river cruising to Regent. So I certainly will be promoting that idea. The idea of a sun chair for everybody. I've been on resorts, I've been on cruise ships, and yes, those towels holding those chairs, most annoying, you know, and oftentimes those chairs are empty for half the day. So the idea of having a sun chair for everybody is wonderful. The included excursions, that's the thing that really compares to river cruises. Every day there's an included excursion there too. So a wonderful option. Let's see, and the excellent options that you illustrated there too. I mean, again, on ocean cruises, I've seen, you know, what is offered, and there have been interesting options, but I see some of the ones that you're offering are very different. So that takes it up a notch as well. And the comment made about the on the Facebook where the client said that having the excursions included allows you to take a risk to come out of your comfort zone and try something. I know, just I'll take a real simple example. I go into an ice cream shop that has 42 different flavors, and which flavor do I usually get? I get chocolate because I know I like it and I'm paying for it. My wife will try, you know, some unusual flavor and then say she doesn't like it. Have it included, you know, you're not risking anything at all. You're able to take yourself out of that comfort zone. The restaurants I was looking at, the ambiance, you know, you mentioned that, and I think that's key. You know, if I go to a restaurant in Halifax here, you know, I'm going for the food. That's the most important thing. But, you know, I'm going to linger and enjoy the experience if the ambiance is nice too. And it looked wonderful, you know, the restaurants that you showed on screen. Interrupt me at any time because I'm just going to run on here.
I love it. You're as excited as I am, so I love
it. Okay, and the story about the bathrobes, I was just blown away by that. You know, I suppose we can't say that that's going to happen on every cruise, but it's an illustration of how, you know, the folks that work for Regent do their very best to make their clients, the customers, satisfied. I mean, I was just blown away by that. So.
And they really, you know what? And they really customize your experience. I think service is key. And I remember going on my sales meeting, and I had one night a specialty coffee with Baileys. And the day after, in the morning, I passed by to take a coffee to go to my sales meeting. We had, you know, training, and they're like, "Do you still want a Baileys in your coffee?" And I was like, "I know it's included, but, you know, I still need, you know, to go to my meeting." So you see, they remember you. It's very personalized, but intuitive as well.
That's wonderful. Yeah, very, very personal. Yeah, I did want to mention about the flights, which you brought up. Thank you very much for doing that. Certainly a cruise of this quality, and of course the whole package that goes with it. It would be very important for me to talk to my clients about getting in a day early to Montreal or Toronto to make sure that they didn't miss that flight. So yeah, I mean, that's something. And we talked about insurance. You know, very good to have that if you're traveling during months that are particularly bad weather, to help clients if they happen to miss a connection. Let's see. Oh, I was going to ask you COVID restrictions, and I know we're talking November 4th right now. And things are changing all the time, but what's the present state of COVID restrictions on board ship?
Right now, it's all open. Only the staff needs to wear a mask, but again, we have double space per person, so we are not in a crowded environment.
Mhm.
The only, restriction we have, I think it's for Greece and Turkey. They are, they are requesting to do a test 72 hours before getting on board. If you are fully vaccinated, you don't need to prove anything. If you are not vaccinated, you need to show a proof of a test,
Okay.
a negative test before getting on board.
Okay. I had a client talk about being on a river cruise in Portugal, and they tested positive and were required to get right off the ship at the next port. Is there a policy there with Regent?
So it depends. Right now, what we did, and that's why when we talk about the capacity of the ship, I just debating, because our ship is 750 guests, but we reduce it to 730.
Mhm.
So at least we have 10 more suites that we have for extra crew on board. And then we have a deck that we kept for quarantine.
Oh, okay.
So we have extra crew to take care of your clients who, can be positive, but it depends. It depends where you are in the world and if you need to leave the ship or not. But usually you're going to stay quarantined in your suite, in another suite. And don't forget that Regent is suite only. So when you're not going to be in an inside suite, we just have balcony suites, and we do have extra crew member on board to give a better service.
Okay. It's a question I think that needs to be asked right now, but we both know that the way things are going, and we watch how things have been opening up over the past few months, that's going to continue, that the restrictions are going to be less and less as time passes, and the experience will be back to where it was, pre-COVID. So, but it's good to know. The casino question, on a lot of cruise ships, smoking is allowed in the casinos. Is that the case with no smoking?
No. So we have only a couple of designated area for smokers, but that's it. We don't have, we have the cigar club. We have an outdoor area close to the pool. We have also on deck 5, but you cannot smoke at the casino.
Okay, good to hear that. Well, I say that as a non-smoker. So.
I'm the same.
Yeah. If a client wants a particular itinerary, would it be correct to say that that these book up fairly quickly because they're not often repeated?
That's correct. And what happened is that it's been 2 years of restriction, and everybody keep postponing and postponing. And we have small ships, so the capacity is not, is not huge. So of course the ships are filling very fast. That's something to really understand. And then also we realize that a lot of people are coming on board Regent to celebrate a special event. So it can be a big birthday, an anniversary, a retirement, and you plan that at least 2 years in advance. So we can see, some itineraries that can fill very quickly. I see we have a Cape Town to Dubai, from Africa to the Emirates, and this one just it's for 2024, and it's almost sold out. So depending on the itinerary, Europe, of course, we have more ships in Europe, so it's easier. But yes, depending how exotic it is, then it can book very fast.
Okay, that's good to know. I mean, with many other cruise companies, it's just a regular thing from point A to point B, and then back to point A. So people have lots of options over a period of several months to be able to take that itinerary, but that's not the case. So if they're interested in a particular itinerary with your company, then it's important to get on that and book it as soon as possible.
Yeah, and actually we're open until 2025 already.
Oh.
So yes, you have time to plan ahead.
Great. I just have a final comment here. Your description of the falls in South America, just the what you talked about doing on that. I don't use the word blown away very often, but I was by that description too. It's one of the, that particular little event could be the highlight of a person's life. and the fact that you're able to offer that is amazing. So very
And
impressive.
it's all together with the same company. Everything is on one booking. So
Yeah.
there is nothing lost in translation. You don't have a guide who is saying, I don't know if they lost their flight, if they are coming late, or if the transportation was late. It's everything together. So that's the beauty of Regent, is that for all the exotic sailing, we try to put a very nice package together for you, because we know that, for example, if you do Singapore to Tokyo, you're not going to go there every year. So you really, we include the 3 nights in Tokyo or the 3 nights in Singapore that you can really, really enjoy the destination, like we just mentioned in South America. So yes, hopefully we can welcome you on board very soon.
Oh, I would absolutely love it. Anyway, thanks again, Amelie, for your presentation this evening on Regent 7 Seas. I enjoyed it. I know that clients who view it will be very entertained by it as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much.